Greenland, the world's largest island, is a land of ice, beauty, and extremes. Its vast frozen landscapes stretch as far as the eye can see, shaped by ancient glaciers and the relentless Arctic winds. But Greenland is more than just its environment. It's home to a resilient people with a unique identity, the Kalaallit. Their traditions, language, and close connection to the land have endured for centuries, even as the world around them changes. Although Greenland remains part of the Danish realm, it governs its own domestic affairs from the capital, Nuuk. This autonomy is a source of national pride, fueling a growing sense of self-determination and cultural revival among Greenlanders. In recent years, Greenland's global importance has soared, not just for its breathtaking landscapes, but for its untapped resources and the new Arctic shipping lanes emerging as the ice recedes. These changes are opening up opportunities, but also bringing new challenges. The Arctic is believed to hold up to 13% of the world's undiscovered oil reserves, and an astonishing 30% of its natural gas, making Greenland a focal point for energy exploration and a geopolitical hotspot, as nations compete for access. For Denmark, Greenland is central to its Arctic identity. The Danish government continues to invest in the region's infrastructure, education, and research, while also maintaining a military presence to safeguard its interests and support its allies. The Danish royal family, including King Frederik X, regularly visits Greenland, reinforcing deep cultural ties and showing support for the island's people and their aspirations. Greenland's location is also militarily vital. Positioned between North America and Europe, it hosts the U.S. Thule Air Base. Originally built during the Cold War, this base remains a key part of American defense strategy and early warning systems. As global powers like Russia and China increase their activity in the Arctic, Greenland's strategic value has only grown, drawing international attention and competition to its shores. The island now stands at the crossroads of climate change, resource competition, and military strategy. Its environment is changing rapidly, and the world is watching closely. Greenland's future is more important and more contested than ever before, as it navigates the challenges and opportunities of a warming world and a shifting geopolitical landscape. The idea of the U.S. buying Greenland, once dismissed as a diplomatic oddity, resurfaced in 2025 with surprising force and urgency. When President Trump returned to office, he brought with him a renewed determination to make the world's largest island part of the United States, reviving a controversial ambition from his first term. Appointing Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry as special envoy to Greenland, the administration made its intentions unmistakably clear. This was not just a passing idea but a serious campaign to bring Greenland into the U.S. fold, both politically and economically. The official justification was national security, with the White House citing Greenland's strategic location in the Arctic and its vast natural resources as vital to American interests. But the move was seen as a direct challenge to Danish sovereignty and a threat to Greenlandic self-determination, sparking outrage in both Copenhagen and Nuuk. Tensions escalated rapidly when Trump declared the U.S. would do whatever it takes to acquire Greenland, even hinting at the possibility of military action if negotiations failed. This unprecedented threat shocked Europe, sending ripples of alarm through NATO and fracturing the decades-old U.S.-Denmark alliance that had long been a pillar of transatlantic security. In response, Denmark's intelligence service took the extraordinary step of labeling the U.S. a potential security threat for the first time in history, a move that stunned both allies and adversaries. The alliance, forged in the crucible of the Cold War and tested over decades, was now deeply strained, with trust between the two nations at an all-time low. Denmark, once America's close partner in defense and diplomacy, now viewed the U.S. as a possible aggressor, preparing its own forces for any scenario. The world watched in disbelief as what began as a bizarre real estate proposal spiraled into a full-blown international crisis, reshaping alliances and raising questions about the future of the Arctic. Denmark and Greenland responded swiftly, making it clear from the outset that any attempt to pressure them would be met with strong resistance and unity. Their governments acted decisively, refusing to be swayed by outside influence, and standing shoulder to shoulder in the face of U.S. pressure. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and Greenlandic Premier Jens Frederik Nielsen issued a joint statement that echoed around the world. "You cannot annex other countries. Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders." Their words were a powerful reminder of the principles of sovereignty and self-determination. Their message was clear: respect for territorial integrity and the right of people to decide their own future is non-negotiable. The leaders emphasized that no amount of diplomatic pressure or promises could change that. In their New Year's addresses, both leaders reinforced their stance, with Frederiksen declaring, "We will stand firm on what is right and wrong." She called on citizens to remain vigilant and united, highlighting the importance of national values and solidarity. King Frederick X praised Greenlandic resilience and highlighted new military training programs, signaling Denmark's readiness to defend its realm. The king's words inspired confidence, showing that both nations were prepared to protect their shared interests. Greenlandic Premier Nielsen dismissed the U.S. envoy's appointment, stating firmly, "We decide our future ourselves." He reiterated that Greenland's destiny would be shaped by its own people, not by foreign powers. Public opinion was overwhelmingly against joining the U.S. 85% of Greenlanders opposed the idea. Across towns and villages, people voiced their determination to remain independent and protect their culture. Protests erupted in Nuuk, with crowds chanting, "Greenland is not for sale." Demonstrators of all ages gathered in the streets, waving banners and demanding respect for their homeland. The crisis united Denmark and Greenland, strengthening their resolve and deepening the bond between the two nations. People from both countries stood together, determined to defend their shared values. The world saw a small nation and its territory standing up to a superpower, refusing to be intimidated. Their courage inspired others, and sent a message that even the smallest voices matter. Their message: sovereignty is not negotiable, and the right to self-determination will always be defended. Denmark responded to U.S. threats with decisive action, rapidly boosting its military presence in the Arctic. Prime Minister Frederiksen called it the most significant military expansion in modern Danish history. New training programs in Greenland, especially in Karlasuaq, underscored Denmark's commitment to defending its territory. Diplomatically, Denmark summoned the U.S. ambassador to protest the American position and condemned the appointment of the special envoy. Reports of covert U.S. influence campaigns further deepened mistrust. The alliance with the U.S. was now marked by suspicion, not solidarity. Danish politicians voiced their shock at being threatened by a longtime ally. The government made clear it distinguished between the Trump administration and the American people, but the damage was done. Denmark began rethinking its entire security strategy. The crisis forced a fundamental shift in how Denmark viewed its place in the world. As the crisis deepened, Europe rallied behind Denmark. EU leaders issued a joint statement: "Territorial sovereignty is a fundamental principle of international law." The message was clear: an attack on one member is an attack on all. The Greenland crisis reinforced European unity and highlighted the growing rift with the U.S. under Trump. Denmark's loyalty to Europe was evident in its strong support for Ukraine, including F-16 fighter jets. Denmark's loyalty to Europe was evident in its strong support for Ukraine, including major financial aid. The U.S. targeting such a loyal ally alarmed capitals across the continent. European solidarity gave Denmark crucial diplomatic and economic backing. Even a small nation can stand firm when supported by its friends and neighbors. While the U.S. made public threats, it also pursued subtler tactics in Greenland. Vice President J.D. Vance's visit to Nuuk was met with suspicion, given the annexation campaign. The U.S. consulate in Nuuk recruited unpaid local interns to promote American policy, funded indirectly by Danish and Greenlandic taxpayers. Reports surfaced of covert U.S. efforts to sow discord between Denmark and Greenland, prompting a formal protest from Denmark. These actions, more typical of adversaries than allies, justified Denmark's new security posture. The appointment of Jeff Landry as special envoy made U.S. intentions unmistakable. The multi-pronged campaign backfired, uniting Greenland and Denmark in opposition. Instead of dividing, U.S. pressure strengthened their resolve. The world saw a united front against foreign interference. While Denmark projected unity abroad, it faced challenges at home. The Social Democrats lost control of Copenhagen for the first time in a century, signaling political headwinds. The Danish economy suffered as U.S. policies hurt key industries like renewable energy and pharmaceuticals. The Trump administration's actions undermined Danish companies and climate goals. Economic and political pressures made the government's task even harder. Yet the external threat from the U.S. rallied Danes around defending their sovereignty. The crisis became a unifying cause in a time of uncertainty. The US-Denmark dispute unfolded amid rising Arctic tensions, especially with Russia, whose presence in the region was growing more assertive. Russian submarines and drones tested Danish defenses, while Denmark remained a staunch supporter of Ukraine and its sovereignty. The Arctic's strategic value, new shipping routes, oil and gas, made it a global prize, drawing the attention of world powers. Russia and China expanded their Arctic ambitions, intensifying competition and raising the stakes for all involved. Denmark, through Greenland, became a key player in this high-stakes arena, shaping the region's future. The crisis with the US forced Denmark to strengthen its military and deepen European alliances for greater security. Denmark's resilience showed that even small nations can stand up to superpowers and defend their interests. The world was reminded, sovereignty and the rule of law matter, especially in times of uncertainty. Denmark's stand sent a message: every nation has the right to determine its own future, no matter the odds.